So there we are. So tonight we are focusing on, if any of you have checked out the, oh God, Danielle, wake up, the success path. As soon as I press record, suddenly my brain goes,
let's go bang.
Yeah. So on the success path now, we've moved on to the next stage. I should pull up the success path actually.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've got it all ready. I'll let Justina talk for a minute while I set this up. Sorry, guys.
That's right. So yeah, so we're sort of moving on to the next stage now. So I know Debbie, you're still a bit. Yeah. Now my brain's doing it with all your calculations and your figures.
Yeah.
And all that.
I will get all that done.
That sort of worksheet. But we're moving on to the next bit now, which is actually starting to connect with your ideal branding in particular. So to get your branding right, you've got to know who your target market is. And you need to be really clear in your mind about that. And we've talked about it at length before, I know, about how niche or how narrow you can bring your audience down into. But that is because you need to speak in the language that the people that are most wanting to buy your product or join your business or whatever it is that you're working on, if you know, the language is very important. And if you don't truly know who those people are, then you can't speak in the same language as them. So it is one of the things that needs to be right. It doesn't always stay the same, and it doesn't mean by getting very niche into a specific market area that you're not going to attract other people to you as well. So if I just do a quick round robin while Dan's trying to find whatever she's lost.
No, today, I'm sorry, our computer switch is not playing along either. I'm trying.
So I might be able to find it if you can't find it. If I do a quick round robin, if you could just give me a specific, to the point overview of your ideal customer. And I'm going to go in order on the screen as I see them, which will be Sarah. Go.
Ideal.
Yeah.
For customers, not distributors.
Give me a quick overview of both, because obviously you've got those two elements of your business that we discussed, having two different landing pages and all that malarkey anyway. So
yeah,
go.
So it would be for customers to sign up to being customers. It would be someone who doesn't really swap their utilities very often. So somebody who's been with the same people for years. Also, families that do a lot of shopping.
Why is that?
We've got the cashback card, so they can get 10% cashback just by using the card.
Hi Tamara. Do you know what? My mum is with Utilities Warehouse and she hasn't got a cashback card.
Yeah, tell her to get one. If she spends any money.
Hello, pups. Oh, it's Guinness.
Yeah, cashback card. Right, I'm writing this down for mum.
Well, you get 1% everywhere, and then you get up to 5% in other shops. I mean, most of the shops down Elliott's Field.
So,
yeah, and online is really good. Online, there's thousands. Yeah, just call head office and say, well, you might be able to do it online on your customer account. You might be able to do that.
She's going to do go on, sorry.
A credit card or a debit card, you put money on it and then go spend it.
I got you. I'm getting excited now. I think, sorry.
Like prepaid. Yeah.
Thinking about saving money. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So that's it with customers, really. People who like to shop and people who don't change very often.
Okay.
Distributors, Wow, I mean, what you said to me, saying about you want people that have already got experience in network marketing and they know how it works, that really struck a chord, because I mean, all the people that I've recruited have been existing customers and they've not done any good. You want people who are going to really hit it, do it, and understand the compensation plan and how you get paid and all that.
Or if they haven't got network marketing experience, sales experience.
Yes. Yeah.
There is that. You will get a small percentage of people that have no experience in whatsoever that are driven enough to make it really work. But you're probably looking at like 1%.
Yeah. Because I mean, I run a team meeting in Bit as well once a month, and I said to them all, when you said it a couple of months ago, and I said to them all the people that you've recruited through customer appointments, have they done anything? You know, they do a little bit and then they fizzle out, and they're going, no. So it's right what you said. That's made me think. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is, in knowing your target market and what they're actually wanting, obviously that helps you create your social media content. Because there's no point just creating stuff and just chucking it out there just for the sake of it. And you can do inspirational quotes till you're blue in the face, but is that going to bring you a customer?
That's
no.
right.
Is that going to bring you a new team member? No.
This is often a big problem with the network marketing, because you have a system that you follow and everybody's supposed to follow the exact same system, and you share ideas on the post, and the biggest problem with that is that's your ideal client isn't necessarily one of your teammates' ideal clients, isn't necessarily, so you have to really think about who you're speaking to, and that's different for each person. And you can, adapt the stuff that you're posting and make it suitable, and some things work for both people's ideal client, but you have to really reach out. You have to know who you're speaking to on a real personal level in order to for them to come to you. So this has to be really thought about quite deeply.
Yeah. I think the customers are quite easy, but the distributors, I need to hone that a bit more. It's going to be a bit more difficult.
You've got to look at that as your ideal client as well. That has to be in that kind of bracket. And I think with the customer side of things, that can kind of sell itself. And for you, wanting to move your business forward at a faster pace, you need to focus more on your customers being your distributors.
Yeah.
And also, there's a few other points there. Firstly, get pinned down on age group as well, because for me, looking at you, I would suggest that you're going to connect with people that are closer to your own age group than you are the youngsters. So I would be picking people that are potentially 10 to 15 years younger to 10 years older, maximum. And that would be, because obviously the way you speak to somebody that's your age is completely different to the way you would speak to the younger generation. And also they've got different priorities.
And values.
Totally. So it all starts to fit in with everything. But also, the other point is, like attracts, there is a little variation, a little spin on this, I'm going to tell you in a minute, but like attracts like. So if you think about yourself in the network marketing position or as the customer position, and write down everything that's important to you about that, then you'll probably have the best way to start to attract those people essentially you want to work with, because unless you share similar values, they're going to really get on your nerves.
And
we've had this so many times in network marketing, and you've got some people in your team and you think, oh my God, I just want to, She just really rubs me up the wrong way. She's just an annoying, but
Yeah, I got one of them.
it doesn't help you be the best mentor you can be.
Yeah.
Because you are polar opposites.
Yeah.
But on the little flip side to that, and something that is going to be useful for everyone, I'll share a little bit more of that. This lady that I've been following actually does her marketing in accordance with the Myers-Briggs test that I got you all to do.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because I was thinking to myself, how can we utilize this in our marketing? And then, hey presto, as Facebook does, it pings up, doesn't it? So we've got it there. We know what the type of people that we are, and I've got a worksheet that I'll share with you guys that'll actually show you the type of people you'll attract, or is most attracted to your particular personality type, which makes sense, doesn't it? Total sense. But also there's ways to look at how you approach people with that as well. Are you actually a person that likes to tell a story to sell a product, or are you a person that likes to have bullet points and bump, direct, straight to the point? Which are you, Sarah?
I'm a straight to the point kind of person, I think.
Straight to the point. So if you're trying to sell the I don't know, a reason why people would be moving over to Utilities Warehouse, would you tell a story as an example, or would you give people like a bullet points check sheet type thing?
Well, it depends what kind of people they are, really, don't it?
Yeah, but what would you do? Is what you do when you're talking to?
I don't know, really. I do a bit of both, because I know that you should tell stories, and that's kind of, But really, I'd like to get over and done just telling the facts.
Okay, that's good. Right, so that's something we need to think about, and I'll expand more on this week. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So, is there anything else that you want to add to your ideal target market?
I don't think so. I'm all right.
Somebody's on a racetrack.
I've just muted Tamara, sorry.
Oh.
But she's gone. She's off on a bike.
Oh dear. So, are we good?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay then, Katie.
Hello.
Hello.
Target market, female, between 30-40 age range. Has children, busy sort of life, who needs an easy way to shop or somewhere to come and sort of have a bit of time out with workshops and things. So
yeah, good. So we got age in there. We got personality type. What? I'll come back to this in a minute. I'll add it. I'll get too carried away with the personality. All excited about it. I was like, oh God.
It's good to get really, really clear on the person, and the process we've put together now will really break that down for you, because it's quite difficult to do, because you kind of think, well, yeah, that is sort of age, they want this, and you think that's enough, but you getting really kind of deeper into that will help you being able to market on the right platform, for one, because we often think, oh, we'll throw it out on Instagram, but that doesn't work for everybody. There we go. Well done, Justina.
Found it.
I
don't know who actually downloaded our original file, because I couldn't find it on my computer either.
No,
so.
I'm thinking, because I don't know whether this is yeah, it is. There we go.
It's the right one, yeah.
It's the right one, because I think I did find this one, and in my head I was like, that's not right. But yeah, so yeah, it's getting really deep on that. Then you know what platforms to market them on, you know what message you need to be sending out there. Then obviously we've linked it up now with this this test that we're going to do, which is the next stage. Don't worry too much about it. Christina will share that into the group at some point next week.
So I think the thing with you, Katie, especially with your new boxes that are going out, I would really go deep about thinking of people that are very busy, don't have time to spend on themselves, but also, you know, that they love, you know, really nice essential oil smells that will help them relax. They want to understand more about the benefits of those things. You know, they're people that probably will research to find out how they can de-stress themselves. And
they looked at it from the box point of view.
Yeah, so I think that would be really useful for you, because you are in a hair's breadth of starting to run ads.
Yeah.
So, you know,
this will help with your ads as well, definitely.
And they need to be very, very targeted.
Really specific.
And very specific. So yeah, that's really good. Well done. Super work.
Anything else?
Katie, I was just thinking, for with Christmas coming up, could you kind of target the blokes who haven't got time to buy gifts for their...
I've always struggled with blokes.
I think it's better to stick with the one target market. You know, it's good. It's a great point, and it's good to kind of reach out to other people as well. But I think what you need to focus on now, while you're launching this and you're getting it big, is that one thing. You know, just focus on the women, because it will. Once you start with ads and stuff, anyway, you're going to start marketing to other people, and it's going to, you know, that's fine. But I think, don't get too busy. Often that's a big problem. What people do is they're trying to market to everybody, because they're like, oh, this would work great for them. And that's when it all kind of falls apart. So I think get really clear on this, focus on that, make sure that's completely working before you even look at another target market.
Yeah.
Time's excellent.
Hold on one sec. Back with you in 1 sec.
That's all right. Hang on, I need to bring up the screen again. Who is next on the line to share target market? So we'll go with Debbie.
Debbie in the car again.
Me in the car. It's the quietest place.
Yeah.
So my target market would be obviously anybody that's getting married. It tends to be people that put the cake as a bigger priority, or they want a wow factor, a wow factor wedding.
High-end market, really.
Yeah. So I do, but then you get people that you wouldn't have down as the high-end market that are quite happy to pay the money. To it. That's why I said it really depends on. It's not necessarily the high end. It's more people who put an emphasis on wanting, you know, that appreciate the fact that it's a cake, and appreciate the fact that it is part of your wedding photographs for a long time. You know, well, it's one of your main wedding photographs, really. Is cutting the cake, and so I think where the wedding cakes are concerned, it's anybody that puts value on actually having a wedding cake, because there are some people that just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? When we went to Ian's sister's wedding, she didn't have a wedding cake.
No, as I said, there is a selection of people, because you get this whole thing about, oh, like the cake is so expensive, it's only cake. Well, it's not only cake. Yes, you can just have like just cake, and yes, you can get your auntie or your uncle or your grandma make it. Yeah, that's just a cake. If you want something that's a bit more than that has some sort of, it's going to be there in your wedding pictures, then you could try and do it yourself if you've not done it before, and you cross your fingers it turns out really well. But if you don't want the hassle of that, then you get somebody like myself. So for that, I think that's that target market.
What sort of age range would you put it
The
at?
cake in the jar thing. For me, well, I speak to people in their 20s up until their 40s, 50s. It depends. It really depends. I don't know. I don't necessarily think there is an age range, because it depends if you're getting married or not.
Yeah, it will. You will. You will need an age range for your advertising. So obviously, because it is very niche, very, very niche, wedding cake, boom. It's not, there's not much either side. Wedding cake, want it or not. Want a posh one? Want or not bother? It is that focused. You could probably go away with doing a broader age range.
Yeah.
And, I would probably say 25 to 50.
You could also, talking at advertisement, is do 2 split advertisements for yours, because you want to get the way that it is at the moment with Facebook ads especially, is that you've got to get really kind of specific on an age range. That's a biggie. You've got to get really clear on your target market. So maybe for you could do like a split test, see what works better, where you're getting your most, and then from that push forward. But yeah,
I would say when I'm putting up posts, the interaction isn't coming from the younger generation. The interaction and the old Debbie, that looks really good, that is coming from people more my own age. And they're predominantly friends or people that I do know. The inquiries, however, are, I wouldn't say they're their early 20s, because they tend not to have money in their early 20s. I would say it'd be people from 25 plus, where they're either being bought it as a gift, or they're buying it themselves, or their parents are buying it. They're sort of contributing. Now I'm thinking about
as well, just while we're talking about Facebook ads, is that because it's very niche and it is wedding cakes, and you will go into your elements on your advert, about all their interests and things like that. Even if your age range is fine, 25 to 50, that's not too broad, but you can bring that down further with actually some of the other elements within the advert. When you are setting up the interests and the things in common and all that sort of stuff, you can actually make it really more specific in there. So but I would, because you've had a Facebook page that's been going for a little while, I would go and trawl through all your Facebook data as well,
right,
and have a look and see what age range it's showing you.
Okay.
Because that's that's going to tell you what it is. The age range of the people that are looking at it. And as Dan
do I do that for Instagram as well?
Yeah, do it for Instagram as well. You want to just
Instagram's going to be more of the younger generation, really.
I would say so. Although you just don't know until you have a look at it. But it would be really beneficial for you, and you'll have lots of other insights in there. That's the flipping word I wanted. Couldn't
insight.
It will give you a lot of other insights in there as well, which will help you really pinpoint your branding, because your page has been going a bit longer. And the same actually for you, Kate. You can use some of your data on your Facebook page as well, because it's been going a little while. But obviously, when you've got a new one, it takes some time and a lot of physical stuff to just actually compile that data. So that sounds good. I think there's you've got the bare bones of that going in, so you can just go and trawl through it and then let us know. It'd be interesting to see, maybe put some screenshots in the group for us to have a look at. It'd be interesting to see what data it gives you.
Okay, because it's been going a few years now. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Tomorrow.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. There you go.
Oh, is that it? Yeah.
Sorry, I muted you because we heard motorbikes going. We thought you jumped on your bike and gone.
Yeah. No, they probably no. We've got an airfield down the road. It was probably from there.
Yeah.
We'll hear cows in a minute. I can hardly see what I've written now. But anyway, I because mine's like a bespoke thing. I'm looking at like an age group of about 40 to 65. I mean, obviously that it could be other people, younger or older. That kind of group. I didn't really look at exact like age statistics, but I'd be looking at people that are quite subtle, quite detailed, people that like quality, people that are looking for gifts, and also people with a link with either the countryside and nature. People who are busy, obviously, and want to spend a bit more on gifts, and also in people who earn more, in like not low earners. People with attention to detail, and also people who appreciate spending to buy something unique for other people. Also targeting people who have more experience in life. So whether I was thinking people that are like well-travelled, either whether that's well-travelled in life or well-travelled around the world, that kind of thing, because those kind of people tend to see the benefit of spending something unique and bringing it into somebody's home. Also looking for people that love to give the best, and also people that like maybe you have groups of people that value others' feelings more. Whether I could check out that, and I'd be looking at kind of classic contemporary people, the people I would think of. Sorry, there's a massive lorry going by. No, it's a tractor. I'd think of people like that read the magazine Elle or The Field, the Country Sport magazine, or Country Life, that kind of group of people. That's what I'd be looking
That's brilliant.
into.
Well done, Tamara.
That group of people. I only found that out while I was listening to you lot.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but that's the point of the benefit of doing this as a group, because it's always kind of when you're always the start one and you're like, oh, you're not sure what to say, but your ideas grow as you hear and listen and speak to other people and you hear their points. This is why a group of people working together is so important, because you bounce off each other, and you guys, we get something back off you guys too. Our ideas change for our own business just by talking to you guys. So it works for everybody. So, but that was really clear and very specific, and I love really specific. I really struggle with that word. I have to think about saying it.
Yeah. So, what we're going to give you to do now is a branding workbook.
Right, I have this, so bear with me.
You have got that, have you?
Do you want to stop sharing? Yeah, and I'll jump in.
Why is it saying new share?
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, I don't. No, it's asking if I want to share. Have I unshared then? Oh, for God's sake, what's it doing? I don't know what it's doing. Is it gone now?
Yes, it's gone. So
Zoom updates, no doubt.
Yeah, probably.
You have to excuse this because this is hang on, hold on. A workbook that I created before we started this program that I've been using for my I got my website people. Exton says hi.
Hi.
So it's not branded for the Accelerator community or Accelerator tribe, but obviously it serves the purpose very well. Dan will push you through this.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so basically just recapping over everything we've kind of spoke about over the course training so far. So who are you? What is it you stand for? Who do you help? Really going deep into that area that we've taken you through over and over. And some of it might feel a little bit repetitive, but it's so important because as time goes by, like you said, just listening to other people, it changes, and having it down on that piece of paper is really beneficial for you to go back and look at over time as well. So I'm not going to go and read you everything, but basically this is going to take you back through that process, and you're going to start really thinking about your customer, your avatar, who they are, what do you stand for, you know, what your beliefs and your values, because that's going to, you know, inevitably help you to understand your client as well, and all the problems you face and what solutions you solve. And again, I mean, this is a 14-page workbook, so this is going really kind of deep into it.
I just noticed a typo.
Oh dear, really? Well, we can totally blame that now on Justina. But again, like we've already touched upon your mission statement, so this is going back into that. Just a, you know, short recap on that. The values, you know, what are you awesome at? What is your key kind of thing that you're great at doing? And
I want you guys as well to I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me. Stupid. But careful what you're doing.
That wasn't me.
Who else kicked the blinking football down the stairs? You trying to put it through the front door? Oh my days. What is he doing?
oh,
Crazy
dear.
kid. Oh God. Really start to think about what you are awesome at. What is the problem that you solve? You know, really start to think about it in those words, because you are all brilliant at what you do. Totally. Even if you don't, all of you believe it yet, we definitely believe that for you at the moment. So you can hold on to our belief of that. But I want you to start thinking about that and start to write this down, thinking, actually, I am awesome at that. I am really good at that, because it helps you get more confident about your product and your brand.
I've actually started this process again today. I've been doing some edits, but I can't edit. I didn't edit the text. That wasn't anything I did. So that is just totally just fault. But I've been following this through myself for my own business just today, because I thought I can't sit there and explain it to you and do it and not go through it myself. And it's really opened up new ideas to me, and it's quite kind of an eye-opener of how my business works, what I want. And I've done all the mission statements, and I've done everything that I've asked you guys to do so far, but just filling it out this form and the way it's worded and made you think differently to it, you know, I've already kind of changed a bit of my business and adapted it and grown it, and it's becoming something else also. So this is really important, and I know that we're asking you to, you've done your mission statement, and we're asking you to do this again here, but it's, you know, this is a really quick, short version of it anyway, but it really opens up something new to what you're doing. So that's your target audience, and who you know, you want to kind of start really thinking about who you want to help. So your dream customer, you know, the people that you really want. We spoke a little bit, Sarah, about how, you know, you don't want to necessarily look for people, you know, you can always bring on people who are interested. You've got a great target market with your customer base. That's nailed, that's done. You know, you need to really, with this, think about your sorry, my brain's not working. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning and I've not actually been back to sleep. Long story anyway. But words today are just not coming out of my mouth. You want to look at the people that you want to be targeting to join your business. So you want to look at on a recruitment side. So really kind of go deep into that. You know, what are their goals? You know, what, and by looking through your own personal goals, that makes you able to work through this better, because often you're going to get it to people who you can relate to more. So that's really, really important on this one. Again, I'm not going to talk you through everything. This is for you to go away and do, and follow through yourselves. And a massive one, and this is something I'm really, really strong about, because again, I keep talking about network marketing, but this is where I learned the importance of this, and I've followed it through into my other businesses. So it's not just for network marketing, but I refer to it because that was kind of my light bulb moment, as they say. I was always trained to follow the system, and you do have to follow the system, but you're almost, you know, you're trained to follow the system, and I still, with what I do now, is I watch other people that are in the same businesses as I'm in, you know, and I really kind of observe what they're doing, and I check out things that they're doing, and I think, oh, that would work, and I'll steal a little bit of that and adapt it and change it and make it unique to me, because, you know, that's what it's all about. It is sharing ideas. You know, you do steal little bits from other people who give you ideas. I know Debbie's going to sit there and like want to strangle me for saying that, because a nightmare with that. I mean, that was perhaps to the extreme, but you will always get that. You know, that is business. You know, you're never going to avoid that. If something works for someone else, you think, oh, how can I make that mine? And that's why being unique, and a clear example of what you've done, you know, your cakes, they can copy them all they want, but they're still not you, and they're still not made by you, and they're not got your unique flair about them, you know, and they'll have their own thing, which is perfectly great, but keeping yourself really kind of true to yourself and true to the way you do it, and the love and everything that goes into it will make you stand out from the crowd. It will make you kind of people to want to come to you more. So, you know,
I
sorry.
I was going to say, I've revised my thought process on that now.
Mm-hmm.
In that I now think that if somebody's had to copy me, then they haven't got the imagination enough themselves, which means moving forward, I will continue to grow, but they might stay quite stagnant.
Absolutely.
And you're a trendsetter.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You know, you have to look at it like, actually, you're a step before the rest. These people don't have your unique mind that thinks of these things. You know, these people, you know, that yes, they may be able to cook great, a cake, cook a cake. That came out wrong. It sounded wrong when I said it. They may not be able to, you know, they make cook a cake great. I can't say that. They may be able to make cakes wonderful, but they don't have that flair that you have, you know, and that's the thing. And that's what you've got to really stay unique to yourself. And it's the same with any business. So all the lovely things that you have in your shop, Katie, you know, somebody else might open a shop down the road that's, you know, got the same kind of image and the same ideas and stuff, but it's you standing to yourself and you coming really kind of pushing out your uniqueness to all the products you have and everything else that people are going to come to.
And also, the other thing to bear in mind is any of your competitors that want to try and do their version of what you do, is that you've also got a hidden superpower, and that is this coaching group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which they haven't got it, they ain't in it. So
these things that we're taking you through are overlooked by so many business owners, you know, and it's crazy. You know, when I talk to people and I'm like, have you got a plan in place? And they're like, yeah, I just want to sell this and sell that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not on about that. I'm on about who are you selling to? What are you doing? You know, what are you needing to? Nobody has this in business, and it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, good point, Justina.
So this just goes into it a little bit further. It's all about, you know, it's just getting to really think on another level as well. If your brand was a famous personal character, who would it be? You know, and these type of things. So have we got another page on the next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two more.
No,
yes. I don't think. I think these are just fillers.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is actually going to make you really think a little bit more about your ideal customer's personality. So, you know, we looked at the Myers-Briggs test, and you all know what you were on the Myers-Briggs test. Dan, if you could unshare a minute, I can just share this thing from Katya's training. You can all have a little look at it. I'll add it into the group so you can have this. But this will actually help you understand a little bit more about your ideal person. Is it unshared?
Oh no, it's just closed everything. Bear with me.
Kick it.
I don't know what I've just done.
Down. Give it a clout.
There you go.
There we go. Right, okay. What's going on here? Let me get out of that. Let me just find this. See, my poor computer might fall over. It's got something going on there. I don't know how. Where's it gone? Here it is. Oh, well. I wasn't going to temptate here with this, saying it might fall over. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to all put up with my crazy tabs and things open here.
Oh God, I don't know how she does it. I look at her, I look at your tabs, and it gives me like heart palpitations.
It's only because I'm so forgetful. If I close it, then I'll forget about it, and I'll be like, what?
That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only 7 that I can see.
I know. I've been actually quite good just recently. I have been closing most unwanted ones down. So
I'm
yeah,
impressed.
I know. It's hilarious, isn't it?
I did add that I can see that there's possibly more hidden away somewhere in there.
Yeah. Quite funny. So this screenshot here, as you can see on the left with the circles on, it has each of the Myers-Briggs, what would you call that?
Coding.
Yeah,
to go with, yeah.
For each type of personality. And whether you are...
It has its own code.
Yeah. So whether you are, for example, I am ENFJ, and I think Danielle is INFJ. Oh, was that right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that way or the other way. It's one of those two. We're definitely those two on the top corner. What can we remember what they were called?
So I'm the protagonist. You were the... Hold on a minute. Where am I? ENFJ. Yeah, I'm the protagonist. And when we look at it a little bit more, it talks about, you know, the percentages. If you go back and either go and do it again and get your download, get your email or whatever, you can look in these a bit different. So, you know, it's just talking of your percentage of extroverted to introverted, to intuitive to observant, you're thinking to feeling, you're judging to prospecting, you're assertive to turbulent, and how you can actually start to think about your ideal customer in that way a little bit more. Because what this lady was saying, and she has done a massive amount of research around this, is that direct marketers here, these guys here, are actually attracted to people that do sideways storytelling. So, you know, I just asked Sarah if she told stories to sell her products, or is she a, you know, to the point, is she a direct marketer? You know, and this is what, and it really got me baffled for a minute, because I was like, this is really interesting, because, and I was thinking about it, and this also transfers over quite often into your personal relationships as well. And it's really weird when you start to think about it, because, you know, they talk about like opposites attract, and that's essentially what it is. So although I will often use, well, pretty much as you guys know, we nearly always use direct marketing in our marketing. We use bullet points. We're straight to the point. We tell you what you want. You know, you look at the landing pages, it's bump, 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 bump. And the actual story element, the testimonials probably are less, you know, we don't particularly tell stories to sell the product. But there are some people that are the other way around. So obviously, so things like Tony Robbins, for you guys that know Tony Robbins, or Robert Kiyosaki, or Oprah Winfrey, they're all sideward storytellers. So you can, like, I am really attracted to them, although I do find if I listen to some trainings, apart from Tony Robbins,
I always slide across.
Yeah,
right to the end. Can I just see that last bit, please?
Yeah. It's like, oh, come on. Can you get to the point? Can you get to the point? But they capture our attention.
Yeah.
So think what you do naturally when you are selling your products to people, when you're talking about your business. You know, do you say, right, I sell gifts for bum, 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 bum. Or do you say, well, I you know, have a gift shop and this, you know, do you go into more detail about it? So it's really worth, I'll put this into the group so you can have a little look at it and have a look at the types of people that you're connected to, because she also shared this little beauty with us about who to market to. So say, for example, up here, so here's me here, ENFJ, it says that I am best marketing to ENFPs and INFPs. But she said, you know, those basically those 4 in the block there are going to be the people, 5 if you include, 4. Yes, you've got that bit there. You get what I mean, the 4 there. They're going to be the people that are going to be most attracted to your business and to your style of marketing.
And then you can obviously go back and look at the kind of breakdown of what attracts them. You know, the green one you've got behind there. I can't. My brain's not working.
yeah.
The green one.
The green one. The green one.
There you go. The personality test. That's the word that I couldn't think of. And you know, see if they're observant, you know, see if they're intuitive, you know, what they're thinking and their feelings and things like that. So that from that you can then break down who you're gonna kind of specifically reach out to.
Yeah, because then when you go into these personality types, that's just a screenshot there. But when you look at the personality type and scroll down where it says start reading, it goes into more detail about what these are. Because I was on tactics, I was like judging and prospecting. I was like, I don't judge people. I was like, really, what are you talking about? But it's not talking about it in that way. And then turbulent, I was like, my flipping whole life's turbulent. What are you talking about? Only 28%.
That should say 99% for me.
But obviously, you know,
it's your personality. You know, life may be turbulent, but personality is actually not. But it does break it down and a little bit more to understand. So have a little look and a little think about that. And you might find I was quite shocked because a lot of mine was quite I know I'm an introvert, but I'm also think I'm extrovert as well. Like I feel like I'm down the middle, but it was pushing more for me towards the introvert. But when it broke it down, I was like, actually I get that now. But
and you know, that is the same thing. And I was talking to my friend who she's a police inspector. And she's had the full Myers-Briggs test done, so you can have an actual really prescriptive Myers-Briggs test done. It's like 1,500 quid or something absolutely crazy, but because she's in the police and she's the level that she's at, they do that. And she was saying that she found, when I started to tell her about this, she thought, well, this is actually really interesting because, you know, if she's in a group of friends, most of the group of friends that she generally goes out with, so probably 80% of that group of friends are introverted. And obviously she's an extrovert and her partner's an extrovert, and there's a small group of that, but of extroverts within that. But she said she finds that people that are extroverted within her close group are often too much competition, you know, in that sort of, it's not just a competition of like, oh, I don't know, men or attention or whatever, but it's a bit more, you know, it's silly little things, isn't it, as to how you sort of all communicate and the energy flows around you as a bunch. But that also, if you think about it, works into your marketing, and hence pretty much why they're saying that, you know, direct marketers and cyber storytellers, the opposite attract. And there's specific reasons why in each one of those, why a certain amount of introverts, because those I's at the beginning are for introverts and the E's obviously extroverts, certain reasons why those 4 are attracted to direct, you know, are in the direct marketing camp. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
so-
really interesting, and you can go. Oh God, we could talk about this all day. I think, Justina.
Yeah.
I love it. I do. I love all the personality and the psychology of things and how we all work. It does fascinate me. But that gives you kind of a better idea to understand why this process is really important. That filling out this form, and then the next step that we're going to be taking is going to be more kind of really driven by the Myers-Briggs test. I always call it something else, and now I've said it right. I've forgotten what I used to call it. But I did it.
Interestingly, just talking about my friend Chloe again, who's police inspector, and obviously her job is crazy. I mean, tonight, for example, she's moved now into the police control room, so obviously she's in charge of police control room. But tonight, she's out in one of the helicopters because she has to go through all this stuff, you know, to understand, because she's just been passed off for her firearms, to lead firearms responses and riot stuff, and you know, anything that could potentially kick off when she's in charge. And we are, so she is, so I'm ENFJ and I think she's ENTJ. And the difference is that we got there is I'm more intuitive, she's more observant, which you'd like to think so, wouldn't you, for a copper?
I hope so.
Yeah. But the interesting thing was, it actually said in my results that I would burn out far too quickly if I worked in a job like the emergency services. And I thought, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
You know, because it's just something that they, in those questions that they've picked up on, that actually I wouldn't cope with maintaining that. Although I'm good in a crisis,
but
I wouldn't cope.
Yeah, it's for that longer period.
That level, you know, over periods of time. So interesting stuff.
Has anybody got any questions or anything that they want to share?
No.
No, I was. Can you hear me? Yeah. I was just going to ask all of your advice, right? Because I have this opportunity. I'm going to put some work up in a local place. I was thinking, what should I, you know, like it's hard to decide what to put up. It's a place where a lot of people will go in. So it's like a little mini gallery opportunity, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's kind of thinking of what to do, because it's such a wide area to think of. I wasn't sure what should I put text up, or should I put a picture up, or should the picture have meaning in it, or what? I don't know, bearing in mind it's coming up to Christmas as well. So
well, what kind of place is it?
It's a cafe.
Right.
I'll do one of each tomorrow.
I think doing this kind of focusing on your target market will help you to understand this as well.
Right.
Filling this format might give you a bit of a clearer kind of image of what this person is looking for. You know, maybe do a snippet of a bit, you know, of both things. And have a think about what you sell most, because obviously that's really important. What's, you know, the biggest thing that people are driven to. I know you do a lot of really personal stuff. I
think the thing is as well, because it's quite a new thing, isn't it, Tamara? If you do this stuff, you haven't really got the data as such yet to see what that is. But I think if you fill out this latest workbook, and it'll give you a really good idea who your absolute target market is. And although you think, oh my God, this is a cafe, anybody could be going in there, make it simple for yourself and put in stuff that is bob on for your target market.
Okay.
Now, whether you get sales from that or not, to start with, it's a bit of trial and error.
It's the same as doing Google Ads, and this is what people get really confused with Google Ads, and they're like, oh God, but what do I do? It's exactly the same as what you're doing right now. So you're putting yourself out there in this shop, and you're going to be working trial and error. You know, you're going to be putting a gallery together, putting yourself out there, focusing on these people, and it might not work. So if it doesn't work after, you know, a particular time period that you want to give yourself, change it up, do something else until it does work. And it's exactly the same with advertising on Google Ads, advertising on Facebook, all those things. It's exactly the same. You know, just focus on who your target market is. You know, yes, you might have some areas to go off, but just focus on this one for now, get it out there, put it up, see how it goes, and trial and error with that.
And I would,
that's really helpful.
I would, if I were you, if you can wangle the space, also have something that you can put up, which is about the artist. Picture of you and a little description of what you do, thinking about this workbook, so that if somebody wanders in there and they see it and they think, oh, I really like that, but then next to it they see an about the artist and actually find out that they can get one of these personally made for a friend for Christmas, they'd be like, get the phone out, take a photo of that, got your attention.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, because the guy said to me today, don't forget, put something with it, who you are and how you can
and
sell
even
it.
having your mission statement, you know, a shortened version, obviously, but even having your mission statement up somewhere, I don't know, kind of, you could make it something pretty, you know, something eye-catching, but having your mission statement up there, that's a great way of targeting your market, because that is exactly what you stand for and who you want to focus on. And so having that up there is a really good one as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a very good idea. Thank you.
Tamara, I was thinking, if you get something that is eye-catching initially, and then you put some text in it so people actually are drawn to read the text, not that so that it's like 100%, so they have to get closer to read it. So, because this is half of what you're trying to be, isn't it? That you've got something that's like a photograph or something of somebody, but then there's more meaning behind it. So if you've got like a picture of a dog and it looks beautiful, but then just in the background you can see something, but then you go and look a bit closer and you can see that it's text, and then you read in the text.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a think.
Yeah. No, that's good ideas. Thanks.
It's all right.
No problem.
That's good. And you have to keep us posted. You have to take photos of it all when it's done.
The person who owns it is really good. He said to me, and if you want to sell anything through me, just he'll like help. If anybody's interested, he'll direct them to me. So
And does he have a social media presence?
Probably, yeah.
He does. His Facebook, he can advertise stuff on there.
Yeah. Go and have a nosy, because obviously, you know, you could ask him, or could you put this on, you know, on your Facebook to say that this is, you know, in the cafe, and you can maybe actually write your story, put it on his social media, or write your story on your page and it can be shared to his, you know, to start to build that circle of traffic.
Building connections as well, you know, with other people that are not on your marketplace, who you're not going to be reaching out to. You know, this is a great way. This is connecting with people on a personal level, but then also on a social media level as well. You know, this is what that kind of next step is. Building relationships with other people that not necessarily want to buy with you, but will help you to grow your audience.
Brilliant.
He has a young following. He lost his son a few years ago in a road traffic accident. And a lot of his son's friends, they continue to support him. And he has quite a young following as well as to the people that go in the cafe. If I've got the right person, Tamara.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done, Tamara. That's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay.
Anybody else got anything they want to share or ask or?
All I was wanting to say was just, obviously we're moving now into the content creation element of the success path.
I like this bit.
So this may go on for longer than a month, this one. It just depends on how quickly we get through the branding element. And we're basically going to be more going into in more depth into content creation. But I feel if you've got these next levels of bits together, then you can actually start to create some more effective social media posts.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Right.
And even, you know, for any of you guys that it is suitable for, you know, obviously we always talk about getting your business online, doing your stuff online, and there's a massive element to it. But for those of you that do a personal thing and you are working within a smaller community or a smaller area, then obviously traditional printed stuff can also be quite valuable, especially in this build up to Christmas. But the most important thing about that is it has to be absolutely laser targeted to your target market. Otherwise, you might as well just set fire to it.
Yeah.
Use it as a bit of Guy Fawkes, like the bonfire.
Guy Fawkes is coming up.
Yeah. So, so you can always think about that as well as as part of your content creation, because it is predominantly about social media and your online stuff, but you also will be creating content in other areas, your website, your blog, your printed stuff that you need, you know, flyers or even just business cards, you know, things like that. So
Justina, will you be going through about blogs? Because I don't even know. I think I'd be really good at setting up a blog, because I've got lots of interesting stories that I can intertwine.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I don't have a clue how to do it.
Well, basically, it's a page. The best way to do it is to have a page that is set up on your website,
Right?
Because the main reason
to bring traffic there.
Yeah, is to drive traffic to your website.
Right.
So you would write your blog on your website, and then you would share the link across onto your social media post. Okay. To start with, there's other things you can do with it as well, but initially that's what you would do.
That's the purpose of a blog. You know, you want to invite traffic to come and land on your page. You know, there's a certain amount of times that people need to connect with you. So bringing them through onto your page. It might say my connection's gone rubbish.
That's all right.
Oh, okay.
Seems to be okay. Yeah, because what I'd really like you guys to do, I know obviously Debbie's got a bit of a beast of
situation
going on at the moment.
Oh.
Katie's is sorted, and Vicky's is sorted. Can you hear these puppies barking? They're going crazy.
I know. I'm going to have to dash in a minute, guys. I've got Leah.
Oh yeah, no problem. So this in this section, it'll be get a website up, and it doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to, it can literally be one single page plus your blog page, for example. The main reason being, obviously, this content creation element. You guys have done so many social media challenges with us now, and the one thing that we wanted to do, obviously, was to start to help you guys build an email list. But we will do that when we can just drum up enough people.
Yeah, that's something we can do with you guys anyway. But we wanted, obviously, we were trying to do that with the other groups as well. Yeah,
but what we want to do is we want you to get those set up, because we need to get something called your Facebook Pixel installed in your website. Okay. And the reason for that is because it needs visitors, it needs traffic, it needs people going to your website to start to build the data up. Okay. And start to get an idea of the people that are interested in your product. So when you start actually using your Facebook ads more effectively, you're going to have this piece of code that's basically made a note of every person that's visited your website. And the difference it makes in your ads and things is astonishing, So it needs to have time to grow. So it's obviously something that we want to get in place for you guys sooner rather than later.
But that's the steps that we're taking you through. These are the, through the success path. This is all part of it. This is the direction you're going now. So every part is so important, but this part is like key. You cannot move to the next phase without nailing this. So I know, Debbie, you're having trouble with filling out all these the forms from the previous ones, but this one, you cannot move forward without completing this. This is gold.
I'll get that one done.
You need to get this. It's really
and really
important.
And you do need to have your financial stuff in place, as you know,
I do. Yeah.
to get the most out of this, because when we start to move on to your content creations, and I know what your pricing is at the moment, but just my major concern is it right?
Yeah.
Which I think
get that.
Yeah. So yeah, just to give you a nice fluffy pink welly up the
Just because your day couldn't have got any better. So there you go.
Yeah. Bring it on.
I know.
Move it.
Yeah, I will.
Cool. Brilliant
Okay,
stuff.
I'm going to have to end it there, guys, because
Thanks a lot.
my daughter
Who's
is
going to the networking on Thursday? At Katie's.
Me.
Katie,
I'm coming, Kate.
I'll come, Kate.
On a plane if
I can't make it. I've got to work.
yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make it because Ian's on nights this week, so I may not be able to make it, but if I can, I will.
I'll see what flights there are.
All right.
But no, you won't.
I have to then sort out childcare, animal care. I just don't go anywhere now.
Totally ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Katie, if you've got 10 minutes, I'll send you a link, and I'll just have a quick chat with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Real.
Adios, guys. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.